Are you a PhD, postdoc, or MD interested in transitioning into management consulting? Apply to Link to LEK by March 12th, 2023. What is Link to LEK? Well, it's an opportunity for advanced degree students to get to know LEK and the type of strategy consulting work the firm does through a virtual 2-day program. During the program, you'll network with LEK consultants and participate in a simulated strategy case modeled after the work done by LEK's life sciences team. But the best part of the program, you will receive the opportunity to an early interview for a full-time role with the firm ahead of the general recruiting cycle. Again, the program is open to current PhD, postdoc, or MD students interested in life sciences strategy consulting, ideally with a target graduation in 2024. So again, apply by March 12th. Click the link in the show notes or visit lek.com today to submit your application.
Hi, my name's Edward, and I'm going to be pursuing a career in consulting upon graduation. As an intern for Management Consulted, I would love it if you were able to fill out a quick survey linked in the show note description. This is going to help Strategy Simplified improve and become far more tailored to you, the individual, looking for a career in consulting. Thank you.
Hey, Strategy Simplified, it's Japheth here. If you need to fill a career gap on your resume to enable a successful transition into consulting, today's episode is for you. On the pod, I'm going to share 4 effective ideas to help you plug a gap or gaps in your resume. Let's not waste any time. I'm going to dive right in. Let's start with some context. Why would you need to fill a gap on your resume, and who does this apply to? I'm excited to chat with you today because I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of you who've told us, hey, I'm struggling to get traction in my consulting recruiting journey because of gaps in my resume. Now, these are often skills or experience gaps, and they're stopping you and lots of other folks from converting your applications into successful job offers. Our resume editing team looks at over 500 resumes and cover letters each year. And there are 2 primary reasons why candidates struggle to gain traction in consulting recruiting. The first, and this is about 20% of candidates, is due to a lack of relevant experience. You're not displaying the relevant skills that consulting firms seek. The final category here in the first bullet is, a gap in time due to personal reasons. Maybe a family member had a health crisis and you needed to take some time off. There's many reasons why this gap in time would exist, and a lot of you have it and are struggling because of it. And the 80% of reasons why candidates struggle to build traction here is because of the way their experience is presented on their resume. So it's a presentation issue. And this is the root cause for a lot of folks. For a number of reasons. The story the resume is telling is not clear, it lacks focus, it's not showcasing the types of skills that consulting firms are seeking. For example, client management skills, research, analysis, presentation, collaboration, leadership, and the list goes on. For these reasons, consulting firms have no idea how to grasp how the candidate would fit into their ecosystem. And so it's easier to move them to the rejection pile than to, dig in further and invest more time and resources into figuring out how they could fit into their world, both from a skills and experience perspective. So today's episode is not going to focus on that last category, the presentation category. It does deserve its own episode though, but you can check out a few other episodes on the podcast for more on that, particularly Season 3, Episode 22, or Season 9, Episode 17 for more specific tips on consulting resumes. So as I said, today's episode will focus on the other 20%, that is actual gaps on your resume. And here are just a few examples of the types of candidates that could apply to. A lot of undergrads, they major in a non-business degree, a degree that's not as friendly or relevant to consulting, like liberal arts or humanities. And they decide to pivot to consulting towards the end of their degree. but now the resume doesn't have a whole lot of relevant experience or degrees, and they need to figure out a way to cover that up. And then a lot of folks, particularly advanced degree candidates, say a PhD, they have a ton of research experience, but with very little real-world impact to show on their resume. And so they might need to build in some extra experience to cover the skills gap. Other examples include, folks in industry, whether they're in interior design, hospitality, real estate, law, or whatever, you might have 10, 15, 20 years in your particular field, but it's just not quite the type of experience that consulting firms seek. And so you've been getting rejected left and right. And the final example here is what I mentioned earlier about taking time off for personal reasons or, health reasons, whatever that may be. And with these gaps, it's often hard for consulting firms to be able to overlook them. And so that's where networking comes in, and it's where these 4 ideas that I'm about to share come in. All right, without further ado, let's dive into idea number 1. Source your own internship. What do we mean by source your own internship? Well, it's pretty basic and straightforward, just like it sounds. It looks like creating your own internship. And so go down to your local mom and pop store, startup, whatever you want. Outline a project that solves a problem for them, whether it's a strategy problem, a growth problem, a cost problem, a process improvement problem. Outline a project, showcase your analytical and structured abilities there, and then offer them, hey, I will work for you for X time frame, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever that is, and I will work on XYZ problems for you, at no charge to you. You'll find very few real-world businesses that will say no to free project help like this, even if it does mean a little bit of time investment on their part. Your goal is to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes. So eliminate the barriers for them to say yes. But then it's up to you to do the work and to follow up on what you've promised. And this looks really good on your resume. It shows ability to take initiative, which consulting firms love. And then, of course, it will showcase whatever skills that you're able to draw out from that experience. So that's idea number 1. Source or create your own internship. We'll be right back after this quick break. Are you looking to break into consulting this year? Management Consulted has tons of online resources to help you make the leap. Do you need to optimize your resume for applications? We can help. Need to prep for case interviews? We've got you covered. Or need to build skills for the job? Well, you're in good hands. With thousands of free articles and videos, along with paid ways to engage, we've got everything you need to be confident that you're on the right track. Visit managementconsulted.com to get started today. But if you're not sure where to start, just send us an email, team@managementconsulted.com. We'll direct you where to go or hop on a quick call to answer your questions. We can't wait to walk with you. Again, visit managementconsulted.com to get started on your journey into consulting. Idea number 2 is similar to 1, but it's to join a real-world consulting project. So there are a number of programs out there that will enable you to do this. For example, Management Consultant's Strategy Sprint program. It's a 1-week consulting project that's virtual, led by an ex-McKinsey, Bain, or BCG consultant. But essentially, you're staffed in a team of 6 to help a real-world client solve one of their most pressing problems. So it's a very short-term way for you to gain some relevant experience and skills. And at the end of the project, you'll walk away with an enhanced ability to conduct research, identify meaningful insights, manage both internal and external stakeholders, and drive projects forward. These are all skills that are extremely valuable and relevant to McKinsey, Bain, BCG, Deloitte, Big Four, Accenture, you name it. Plus, you'll have some great stories to draw upon in your networking conversations and in your interviews. So join a program like Strategy Sprint for that hands-on real-world experience to bolster your resume and to fill those pesky career gaps. You can learn more about Strategy Sprint via a link in the show notes. So that's idea number 2, joining a real-world consulting project. Idea number 3 is a little different. It is within your existing role, whatever job you're at right now, to take on new responsibilities and initiatives that can demonstrate your transferable skills and ability to drive impact. Is this possible for all jobs? Not necessarily, but this is your chance to vouch for yourself, to pitch yourself to your managers, to your superiors, to say, hey, listen, I want to grow in these areas. I want to gain these skills. Can you put me on projects that will help me to gain those? I want to add value, but I want to transfer these skills, and just have that conversation with them. This is your opportunity to show that you're a self-starter, that you can display ownership and you can take initiative. So see what kind of process improvements you can make to your line of the business, to your specific role or department, whatever that looks like. See what kinds of problems you can apply yourself to, where you can demonstrate your problem solving and analytical skill set. Those are all skills extremely relevant to consulting, and they look awesome on your resume, and they will make your resume much stronger. Now, if there's not the capacity, the room, or the space to execute on idea number 3, then the last idea, which is or least recommended, is, of course, to move jobs or industries to where you can actually gain the requisite skills and experience that consulting requires. And we left this last for a reason. It's the most difficult to undertake. It takes the most time. And so, definitely doable. And for some of you, it may be what you need to do if you're in a field that just doesn't allow you to build the skills and ability to drive impact that you'll need to be doing in consulting. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to break into consulting right away, but you can. The main goal here is to seek out roles and opportunities where you can build and develop the transferable skills that we've been harping on throughout the duration of this episode. Now, if you want to break into consulting, that's probably ideal. Feel free to reach out, email our team. We're happy to give you a thought out answer specific to your situation. So just send over your resume, a bit of background, and your target firms to podcast@managementconsulted.com. And we'll respond to you and give you our honest thoughts on that. Now, moving jobs or industries is last. It is the most difficult to do, but you may find yourself in a position where in order to break into management consulting, you need to move out of your current role or industry. Thank you for listening to this episode of Strategy Simplified. If you're looking for help to execute on some of the things that we've chatted about in today's episode, I'm going to recommend 2 things for you. The first is resume edits. So you can send in your resume. We'll perform 2 rounds of detailed edits on your resume to get it ready for consulting applications. The team is led by an ex-McKinsey consultant, and we'd love to work with you. The second way to engage with us is through Strategy Sprint, the 1-week virtual consulting project that I mentioned earlier on the podcast. The next project is coming up in May of 2023. Depending on where you're listening to this, you can still apply to that. We've got just a couple spots left, and we always sell out. So if you're interested, you'll want to get your application in as soon as possible. The link to learn more and to apply to Strategy Sprint is in this episode's show notes. If you enjoyed today's chat, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to help get the word out to more folks. In addition, let us know when you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, because you'll be entered in for a chance to win one of our top-rated consulting prep courses. So just let us know. Email us podcast@managementconsulted.com, and we'll enter you in to win a free course. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you again next week.